I've been thinking, what's been on my mind lately is the images that we have in our minds, especially the image that we have of God. Like if somebody says God, what thing pops up for you? What image pops up? And I've been thinking about this, about how a lot of people lately, they can't really relate to God. And I think that maybe a lot of that has to do with the image that they have in their mind of God. If in especially in the Western world, we have a very patriarchal, power type hierarchical image of God. And it seems like a lot of people can't really connect to that right now. They can't connect, and so there's a disconnect to God because of the image that they have of God. Like First Nation and different tribes and different people that are very connected to spirit, they would go on vision quests, and kind of find their own connection. But I wonder if that's how they found, their image, their interpretation, their whatever popped in their head when they thought of spirit or God or, the Great Spirit. And so, that's been something that's been kind of on my mind lately. I think ultimately, we are made in the image of God. If you believe that, if you just go with me on this. If we're made in the image of God, what is the image in our mind supposed to be of God? That's crazy, huh? That's a crazy thought I just had. I think about that. So, I think it's getting to the place where we see God in our own reflection. And I think God comes to us in many forms. Like, for example, I call God Big Mama. Because one time I was so desperate and so empty that I cried out to God. And in came, all of a sudden, in my conscious mind, in my awareness, in my mental prayer awareness mind, you know how that is, where you see things in your mind. In came this large black woman. I call her Big Mama. And it wasn't what I was expecting, because even though I tried to avoid it, and even though I knew better, I still had an image of God as the polar opposite of a big black woman. It was the Western patriarchal male God. Which patriarchy is power. Matriarchy, patriarchy perverted is power. Perverted. And authoritarian. And matriarchy, perverted, is materialism, mired in matter. I had not had a lot of experience with the feminine aspect of God. And I really needed that in my life at the time. And I think that my emptiness and my openness and my desperation allowed me to receive the images that were coming into my head, into my mind space, because she just flooded. It was like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this image appears in my head. This presence that was not only in my mind, but I felt it in my entire being. I felt what I was experiencing in my mind, I felt in my heart, I felt in my body, I felt everywhere. And that was like a crazy experience, because usually it was like I've never felt like that much connection between all my parts, all the parts of myself, to where whatever was happening in my mind, it was like actually happening. Like, it was like a physical manifestation, or a physical thing that was like really happening. It was so real. And so it gave me some actual clues as to like what happens with awareness, what happens with whatever enters into our mind space. That, you know, that like, it's not just imagination. It's something that's very real. But that was like a really healing moment for me. Because I was like, I knew her, but I had forgotten. And she came in with so much love. It like filled me up. It filled my whole being. And so I call her Big Mama. And she's one of the faces of God. She's a part of God that came to me, you know, and in a time when I really needed her. And she's always there as a guide, you know, for me. I needed somebody I could go to, and somebody I could trust, and somebody I could relate to. And you know, Big Mama is a part of me. You know, I'm like queer, I'm white, I'm not like, you know, I'm not a big black woman. But there's a part of me that has that capacity to love, that has that capacity to nurture. And she's here now as a separate, almost not a separate entity, but as a personality in my consciousness that's there with me, that I can ask questions to, until I can accept that within myself. Because she is a part of me, you know. And it's a part that I'd never seen before. You know, it's something I have in me that I didn't know was there. You know, to have that much love, to have that much nurture, to be able to nurture myself, and to care for myself, and to care for other people, and let that move out, you know, from within me, out, you know, out towards people, out towards the world. That's a crazy thing to think about, is God could come to you in any way, shape, or form. And I'm discovering that the forms that God comes to us when we're in that space of emptiness and openness is aspects of ourselves that we don't know yet. That as we get to know that part of God, we integrate that into ourselves, and we become that. Like, you know, there's universes inside of you. You know? There's universes inside of you. There's the cosmos inside of you. You know, it's heaven's within you. It's not up there. It's within, you know. I think that there's a deep need in our world for spirituality. And I think there's a deep need for connection to God and self and others. But we don't know how, because we're using outdated images and things that aren't working for us. The power over principle, or the power over, you know, deal is I need to be in power, and I have to have power over in order to know who I am, in order to validate who I am. But inner power is different, you know. It's different. It's you already know who you are, and that's what gives you the power to like be who you are. You know, it's you know, there is nobody else that needs to tell you who you are. You find it yourself. You know, there's no title. That's why, like, it's crazy. I was like freaking out because I was like, one time I told Big Mama, I was like, Big Mama, like, what am I supposed to be doing? Because I really was like kind of still hung up on like, I don't have a title, I don't know what I'm doing, people ask me what do I do, and I don't know what to say now, you know, because it's been this crazy journey, and I don't know what I'm becoming, but something, I don't know what, but people are, you know, so I asked Big Mama, I said, Big Mama, what am I supposed to be doing? And she said, just be you, honey, just be you, baby. And so, that's crazy if you think about it. To just be me? Like, who am I? But then that's the whole deal, is that finding that inner power to say, this is who I am. I am who I am. I'm becoming who I'm becoming. You know, it's a strength to say that, like, hey, I don't have a title. I don't really need a title, you know? And I still, like, be like, I'm, like, nervous doing this, but I probably won't post it, but, you know, I'm practicing. But that's the, you know, like, when we find that inner power, then we, like, it's crazy. We find, you know, it comes from a different source. It's not contingent upon anybody else. It's not contingent upon the economy. It's not contingent upon, like, it's not contingent upon what's happening in the world. It's not contingent upon what people think about me, my family thinks about me, my friends think about me, the people in my life think about me, or what you know. It's not contingent upon anybody. It's not contingent upon how much I make, where I live, what my zip code is, what my area code is. It's not contingent upon any of that. It's you know, it's contingent. It just is. It comes from the source. It comes from the source within. You know, it comes from the God source within who you are. You know who you are, and you're grounded in that. You know, and so, you know, that's what I think. You know, that's what I've been thinking about lately. Yep. So, anyways, give yourself a hug today. Tell yourself you love you. Tell yourself you're worthy. 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 Tell yourself that. You're worthy. I'm 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 worthy. Tell yourself I'm worthy. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. I think that's